Wow, serious light pinch, y'all. Wow. I stepped out to record some audio for a video and looked up through the camera. You see this. You can't see this just by looking at it, but this is happening because there are planets around the sun. They tend to group around the sun, and they're so close, you know, in between Earth and our sun, and they're pinching our sunlight. They pinch it, distort it. This is why the sun looks so different. That and how we have another sun that's behind our sun. That definitely affects what we're seeing as well. You know, that white area that we see, that is the sunlight from our sun, and then that yellow ring of illumination that we see around it is the illumination coming from the second sun, which is directly behind our sun. But that's what's going on. Our second sun is not even fully visible. It's hidden behind our sun. So all of these videos that we're seeing of illuminated orbs, and everyone is saying it's another sun, it's not. Those illuminated orbs, depending on their location, if it's to the right of our sun, it's Saturn yellow moon from a distance. And then we see one or multiple illuminated orbs to the left of our sun, and that is an illuminated asteroid. Most of the asteroids in this other solar system are located to the left of our sun. That's where the major fields of asteroids are located. You know, just remember, these planets are passing between Earth and our sun. So what we see are their dark sides. And the further away they are, the more clear our sky will look. But they're never gone. They're always there. And then the closer they get to Earth, the more cloudy our sky will appear, especially the strange clouds, the ripples, the streaks. What those are the atmospheres of these other planets. They pass so close that their atmosphere will literally fill our entire sky. And typically it's a different planet in each direction. But that is why, you know, certain days we see more clouds or more streaks. You know, most of the streaks we see are caused by the planets and asteroids that are dragging across Earth's atmosphere. But unfortunately, people have been conditioned to, you know, think they see streaks and they assume that they're man-made. They don't know about this other solar system to even think that it could be something other. You know, they see 2 or 3 planes and they attribute, you know, millions of streaks to those handful of planes. And then they think that that's happening all around the world. You know, that we couldn't possibly have the resources to spray all the streaks that we're seeing happen every day worldwide. You know, most of the streaks are because of these other planets and asteroids. And then most of the clouds we see every day are clouds from the atmospheres of these other planets. That's what's going on, y'all. I talk to Sam Hoffman about once a week, and he honestly can't believe that more people have not discovered his information. If you're listening, please share this information, you guys, because that's the only way his information will become more mainstream. Which that's where it should be. This is the biggest story of our lives. This happens about every 3,600 years. You know, 2 of these other planets are inhabited. That's why they don't want us to know about it. That's why they go nonstop with distractions and disinformation to keep you distracted. Like I said, 2 of these other planets are inhabited, and to those beings, Earth is a factory. We are factory Earth. And we are self-replicating biotools that were purposefully created to work on factory Earth, because the beings on these other planets cannot accept our atmosphere. They cannot tolerate it. So we have been created to work for them and supply them with goods and commodities, minerals, gold, etc. This has gone on longer than we can fathom. So that's what's happening. Oh, hey. Sorry, my neighbor walked up and I paused the video to talk to him. But as you can see, a few minutes has gone by and the pinch is no longer there. So, what that means is the planets have moved and shifted. They're no longer pinching our sunlight. What other reason would cause it to pinch momentarily and then go away? Well, that's what's happening. So in short, what I'm talking about, the fact that there is a binary twin solar system that we're not being told about, that is the root cause for why our skies have changed, why the weather is changing, becoming way more severe, extreme heat and cold, fires that are being ignited by electrical discharge from close passing planets and asteroids, the uptick in earthquakes, major floods happening worldwide. All of this has been happening for several years now, and it's not geoengineering and climate change. Yes, the climate is changing, but it's because of this other solar system that is passing just outside our atmosphere every day. And just so you know, the person that discovered this other solar system, they went through a 30-year non-disclosure agreement before they could talk about this discovery. He couldn't say a word about it from 1980 to 2010. And his name is Samuel Hoffman. He discovered this other solar system in 1978 when he was just 17 years old and a junior in high school. He wrote a term paper that stated that we actually live in an electrical universe and that there are two sets of planets and two suns. Long story short, the government got word of that paper and they showed up and forced him into signing a 30-year non-disclosure agreement to keep him from talking about it. He could not discuss it or disclose it, so he couldn't say anything about it till 2010. And that is when he created his Facebook page, Montana Skywatcher, and a YouTube channel under Sam Hoffman. And then I helped share his information on my Facebook page, YouTube channel, and TikTok under Nibiru Followers Anonymous. But it's thanks to you guys and all the support that you give in helping share this information that more and more people will be informed. And that is the whole reason why Samuel Hoffman has done everything he's done and basically risked his life to step forward and speak up even after he was shut down for 30 years. Is because he believes people deserve to know the truth. That we actually have a binary twin solar system and we work to provide goods and commodities to races on other planets. Okay guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. The sun is very hot. I'm going to get a sunburn if I stay out longer. But I appreciate you all and we will chat again soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
We're going to heal through the elements. First thing is always fire. You have to involve fire in healing. At least 2 hours in the fire in the sun. Next is going to be earth. What I was just talking about, grounding, being in nature. There's something that happened to the psychological process of our brains just by looking at green trees. Literally, it makes you happy. There is something called nature deficiency orders. Look it up. You can Google it right now on your iPad. It's called nature deficiency order, where people go through a psychological depression and they don't realize why. And then they go into nature for 2 hours a day and everything and all those suicidal thoughts that they was going through, they don't have them anymore. So they were literally, it's called nature deficiency order, right? So get in nature. Not only get in nature, eat from nature. Natural organic things that grow from nature. Fruits, berries, melons, vegetables, limited seeds, limited nuts, and limited grains. These things are very good for the body, and it brings on a detoxification. So we got fire, which is the sun. We got earth, which is everything that she grows inside of earth, and grounding, connecting with earth. You can lay on earth. These things will actually discharge all the negative protons in the body and bring, all the positive protons in the body and bring in negative electrons to make your body more ionic, for it can be more in a balance of homeostasis.
The only reason I'm in tune with all this is I just tap into self. This is what the ancestors put me here to do. This is why these people want to harm me and hurt me now. All right, everything I'm telling you is facts. And then they'll put this shit in a cartoon, or you'll hear them like they did with the Bermuda Triangle video. They'll come out 2 months later and be saying all the same shit I'm saying. We discovered a new group of fuck out of here, nigga. Every time Rashad said, niggas think I'm crazy, until some white people say it with suits on, the niggas be, oh, where you? Then they want to tag me in that shit. Like, they don't tag me in shit. Well, my ancestors sent me here to do this. I ain't got time to be on here lying with you. I could be spending time with my wife and my kids right now. I ain't come over here to play and lie. Feel me? All right. Now, the 9th realm of Atlantis is called Hades. All right? That's the very last realm, and it's the home of the fallen gods and the lost souls. All right? So Hades is where a lot of your most powerful principalities reside at. A lot of your fallen gods that are on the planet, they are in Hades. Satan himself, Zeus himself, resides, because he ain't in the 6th universe no more. I told people who've been watching me, Zeus came back, what we would call maybe 3 years ago, for this war right now. He's residing right at the bottom in Hades. And that's also where lost souls go. So this is why the elites like to get people to sell their soul. Like when you sell your soul, you ain't transcending. So they either take your soul and put it in artificial intelligence, or they will lock you up in Hades, on the realm of Hades, until they can reuse your soul again, or till they want to use it at a later date, because you signed it away. This shit real, y'all. Shit very deep. Ain't no hell, but it's definitely a Hades. You know, it ain't full of fire and none of that shit. Ain't nothing but lost souls and very powerful fallen gods. These are the 9 realms of Planet Kai. All right? So, now that we know the 9 realms, let's dive into how they took the land. I want to start first, y'all. My bad. I had to take it off the chart. So, the dark matter energy is rising. All is being revealed. But for us to rise, we have to have full intel of our planet and who and what we are and how everything works. All right? So, a lot of these cities and towns were built over slave grave sites. New York, Chicago, LA, Dayton, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Miami, the Carolinas. I don't give a fuck what state you name, what country you name. We were there, and they slaughtered us in war and then built their cities over us. I don't think y'all understand that. Let me let that sit in y'all soul if I even move forward. Let me let that sit in y'all soul before we even move forward. All of your major cities, states, towns, municipalities were built. It's bad enough that they killed us. Hold on. You know that they killed and conquered us, but did you know that they built over the dead bodies? Literally. All the parking lots, all the buildings, even where you stay right now, there isn't a place you can go. They literally took us and threw us in one location. Like after they defeated us, you know, our souls kept going. Our souls and spirits kept going and came back or did whatever we was going to do. But as far as the physical body, after they killed us, they made these huge grave sites for us, and they would dump all our bodies right there. And that area might have been the size of Charlotte, North Carolina. So what would they do? They turned around and built and made Charlotte, North Carolina over that whole grave site. They have done this.
Now, brother, why ain't gravity pulling them bubbles down, them bubbles floating up? Where gravity at in this equation?
Yeah, density.
Not so density is powerful than gravity now. When density, so let me ask you a question.
No, it's just the force pulling on the water.
Brother, you need to stop and listen to my question. When does density decide to pull up, and when does gravity decide to pull down? That's my question.
No, it's both at the same time, obviously.
So why ain't gravity winning this battle but with these bubbles? Because think about what I'm about to tell you now. Gravity is keeping all of the ocean water held to the earth. That is a lot of water weighing an amount that we can't even fathom. But it can't keep these bubbles held down. I want to hear your explanation of why gravity's failing and density is winning right now.
Because the water is heavier than the air, so it orders.
Okay, so hold on, no. I got your answer, brother. That was the answer. That's it. The air is lighter than the water. Guess what you just did though? You debunked the theory of gravity with the law of density, and I'm finna prove to you that you just did it. Density doesn't need gravity. Gravity needs density, and that was what just happened right now. See, gravity only explains why shit fall. That's why Isaac Newton created that dumbass theory with an apple falling on his head. They should have checked to see if the apple damaged his goddamn brain, because if he thought that gravity was a force pulling the apple down, but it didn't pull the clouds down and this fool, if he thought that this force of gravity was picking on one apple in the tree but letting the rest of the apples stay up there like a goddamn dummy. If you cut me off, you got to goddamn go. Don't cut me off, man. I'm talking. Like I was saying, he was a dumbass if he didn't know that this particular apple failed was ripe and it got heavier than the other apples, dude, and the tree could no longer sustain it. You know what that's called? The law of density. You know what the law of density is? Not a theory, which is what gravity is. You know what laws can do? Stand alone. You know what theories can't do? Stand alone. Which is why when we ask you about the bubbles, you got to say our argument, which is density. We never bring up gravity for nothing. If you ask us why the rock fell into the water, we're gonna say because the rock was heavier than the water. Now you using that explanation to explain why the bubbles go up, but you won't use it to explain why the rock go down like a goddamn dummy when the damn law of density explains them both. You choose to just use one part of the law of density, which is why when it's time for you to explain why shit go up, you abandon gravity and have to go to the law of density. But a flat earther, we never have to abandon a law of density, even when somebody asks us why shit go down, because there's one law explain them both. It's a law, not a goddamn theory.
Okay, so you said with the bubbles, right? So you're saying that the gravity stops, and what I'm saying that gravity stops when it comes to density. But I never said that. I'm just saying gravity is always working, and then you have the bubbles. I didn't say nothing about listen what I'm saying. If gravity, I know gravity according to your model is always working. That ain't the question. The question is gravity only explain why things fall. It don't explain why they rise up. We can play around with the law of gravity, because with the theory of gravity, it say what goes up must come down. That ain't true. Some things go up and stay up and never come back down, and that is explained in the law of density. But if your theory only explain why things drop and is only a focus on dropping, then when somebody who embraces the theory of gravity, when somebody asks them why did this air bubble float, they start teaching density when they should have been teaching that law to explain why the apple fell too, because the apple is heavier than the air around it. Exactly. So if I drop the goddamn apple, it's gonna drop. But if I drop the helium balloon, it's gonna rise, because the helium gas is lighter than the air that's around it.
There are hundreds of thousands of miles of tunnel systems on the planet. You can go from New York to Brazil, Buenos Aires, and then Antarctica without ever coming up to the surface for air. And you can do it all at way more than 1,000 miles an hour on magnetic levitation otherwise called maglev. I talked to a military veteran who said, Jim, I'm a war veteran. I'm a military specialist. I don't want to give away more. And he told me a lot of different things. But one thing he told me, he went from Virginia to Los Angeles in 45 minutes. Do the math, 3,000 miles an hour. 45 minutes is 3/4 of an hour. Multiply by 4/3. On 3,000 miles, you get 4,000 miles an hour. Easy napkin math.
Baby, did y'all see in Johannesburg, South Africa, where they locked homeless people in an apartment building and burnt the building? The building was locked. They could not get out of it. 73 homeless people are deceased right now. Y'all, look at this video.
I get out. At least 2 people have told me that there were gates that were locked, which meant that people couldn't get out. You see some of the firefighters there behind me. They have been exhausted. They're lauded for their efforts to try to get some survivors out. I spoke to one man.
So I came back to the DMV. This time they did give me the form that y'all was talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill it out. They should have gave me this the first time I did it, but I don't know why. But they got the number, so I'm gonna write my number anyway, even though they said that they already got it back there. I'm gonna write it because I got it saved on my phone. But I just thought I'd put that out there to y'all. You know, they was just trying to play games, but we good now. So it's filled out, y'all. Y'all see what I put: other, operating in private, exempt from the commercial codes. I put for the address, United States of America, Republic. I should have put non-domestic, but I think that's still fine. But yeah, we did it today. Got that out the way. I wanted to make sure that I did it.